Yeah, give us the Dharmapala and while we wait for and there's a chain up there for felicitation. And some volunteers arrange the chants for the Mahāthero.
Sitting down here because I'd like to. Okay. I would like to sit down here. There the text you can also see. There you can see.
So now we want participants and questions and to I have something we like to ask questions.
Maybe you answer
For so long, I have spent out about one thing which I want to get off. I want to get rid of the negative of this. Some of these Dharma, which have been carried out by the all the while, like carried out by the Bhikkhuni all the while. The first Dharma jumps to the consistent of Mahāthero towards him and the foster mother of Dharma. We have the type of Christian, but we also become. Namo Buddhāya, most respected Seewalee and Mahāthero, most respected And so from far to the west, I have to and so another one and Bhikkhunī, so today we're gathering here in this afternoon to validate the work, the contribution of all the Sangha in the life of the Sangha in this modern era after silence for years. And today we're very happy that we have all Mahātheros and Mahātheros here, and also for the new people to learn to appreciate their power, their contribution, their dedication, their sacrifice, their determination, and also their practice in making way for more so that the Buddhist Sangha can be prolonged as long as possible. So without further delay, so that we invite most respected East Venerable to inaugurate this session and also to legislate on the Maha societies, contribution, and inspire everyone to practice. Let's do our public gathering. This is Mahāthero. So cool. No, maybe you will do that. This Dharmapala is a session, the morning session. We have a shift afternoon session. So this will be the session for felicitation. The honor and it has asked the contribution and the Mahātheros will be put up to propagate the Buddha Dhamma, to revive the site of the sacred Buddha, and also the Mahātheros.
I have to welcome this teacher.
Yes, thank you.
You have the detail of this Mahāthero. Yes, detail of the
Oh, the one later will show the video.
Okay.
Yes, now everybody can share with us about the videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
My voice is very bad.
Yes.
So very short. Very short. And Venerable Vassas, Venerable Mahāthero, Venerable Bhikkhunī, and Vassas. I'm very humbled to be here, and thank you for inviting me to attend this felicitation ceremony. Unfortunately, my voice has taken somewhere, I don't know. So, simply, I'm so happy to see the successful ending of his first anniversary of YouTube. I think it's a greatly successful. It's a very successful program. And this Ordinations. And it is because of our coordinators that are working for last 1 year. you were working for many years, but since last 1 year, I think you were extraordinary to make this achievement. If you are not working, your mind, body, and your heart, then this success will not reach. So it is because you were full devotion to the Sangha. And Bhikkhuni is something special to be one Bhikkhunis. So that is why actually this program become more and more successful. So on behalf of our Bodhi Society of India, this is also kind of tribute to our founder. Because the Anagarika Dharmapala, he has a great ambition that time to support, to revive Bhikkhunism. But it is in the early 19th century. That time, when he visited USA for the first time, he gave 5% or 10% to one American lady. Then she became the same mother, first as a in America. And later, she traveled to Sri Lanka and she became formally the same mother in Sri Lanka. Then she established one that kind of the same in Sri Lanka, that kind of for so she lived a long time in Sri Lanka. But that is how our want to support to Bhikkhunism. At that time, it was very strong objection come from various temples. So somehow later on in 20th century, 21st century, we try, we do it, and it's actually at last we could success and with our honesty and dedication, with our service here. So our society always try to revive Buddhism in India first. Our country, Bodhgaya. First time our Buddhist society was established because to revive Bodhgaya, that time Bodhgaya was not a place to pay respect. Otherwise, it was such a place. Mostly Hindu people occupied at that time. Which performed a sacrifice. He was eating. He was in house arrest for 16 years. He suffered a lot. And Buddha's statue was disfigured as God Shiva. So it was very, the later established legal battle started later. And it went on and on. This legal battle for the rights for the Buddhists. Then this from the brand or the High Court, such as the Supreme Court, it's a legal battle, long legal battle, only for Buddhist rights to pay respect to Bodhi. So later on, our founder died in 1933. So before that, he established his temple, he established Sangha, all over the and also many other places in Nepal. So it is because of our founder, Namo the Buddhist could come once again to pay respect to the Buddhists. That time it was completely forbidden for Buddhists. It was not easy to pay respect to the constantly being occupied by others. So he received support from English people, British people. So that is why even other Buddhist areas, other Buddhist places like Kushinagar and Vaishali and other Buddhist places, Sravasti, or these discovered that time. And the other important thing is that British people, they discovered some relics, sacred relics of the Buddha. At that time, there was no any Buddhist organization in India. At that time, it was only Maha society. There was no any. He was surprised to learn that once Mahatma Gandhi was invited to Buddha birthday in Calcutta, Bodhi headquarters in Calcutta. So our founder invited to Mahatma Gandhi to attend as the chief guest. First, Buddha birthday function after many things. So he attended his Buddha birthday ceremony. The Dharmapala asked for the audience, how many Buddhists are here that time? How many Buddhists? Only one hand was like, it's can you imagine now? It was the 19th century in India, no Buddhist. So that is how Anagarika Dharmapala belonged. When just 26 years old, when he come to India from Sri Lanka, when just 26 years old, young man come to you without no support, what to do, how to do, he doesn't know anything. But blessing from the Triple Gems, support, because he considered him as a bodhisattva. So he was on and on until his last moment. So, Mahaprabhu's society was come to West first time in the West. He built London Buddhist Vihara in 1926. The first Theravada Buddhist Vihara built in London in 1926. And he attended the first parliament of religion, the parliament first parliament of religions in Chicago in 1893. 1893. In America, in Chicago, they organized one parliament, world parliament of religions. 1893. So Anagarika was invited to attend that. So he represented the entire Theravada Buddhism invited. So he addressed the Parliament of World Religions. Then he speak about Buddha's teaching in India. Speak about. So then he got to know what is the Theravada Buddhism at that time. So this is how actually our founder so hard at that time in early 19th century. So later actually he was engaged in so many social and charitable activities in India, establishment of schools and colleges for the poor children in this country. So later, when he was just, I think, 64 years old, he was not really well. So at Sangha, and when we fell sick, he surprised us to Now, what is the life of a Bodhisattva? He was very sick one day. He had read his death was in 29 in 1923. He was high fever, he was running high fever. Then one doctor coming from Calcutta, Sangha, he was very far away. There was no local doctor in Sangha. So one doctor came from Calcutta to Sangha. Then doctor wanted to give one injection to him. So then he cannot speak. So he just got advice, he just got what he did. And dear doctor, I'm tired of injection. And please let me go. I have done what I can do. This is so now it is time for me to. So this was his last word, and he wished that I will be born in India to spread the message 24 times. I want to be born to revival. So this was his last message. So then his legacy is continued. So whatever we can do to continue his legacy, we try our best. So that is whatever. Now our goal, our aims and objects is not like before. Because now there are so many Buddhist temples, now there are so many Buddhist organizations. Not like 1940 or 1960. Maybe 10% in the organization, their contribution as much as we can. But now the society remain helping support whatever they can. So we are happy to support Bhikkhunis. We keep on supporting until Bhikkhunis are born strong, so they can work alone. So and in India, that's what we can do. So thank you for thank you.
Thank you. We were here to speak how Maha society comes to systems and how Anagarika started taking instances very at the same time how the mind sacrifice to be one and they come here and believe so there and pray and worship the people behind that has done a lot. So all the Mahātheros and Mahātheris have done a lot to continue to as a inside daughter to continue this finish of the number one, and hopefully today all the new Bhikkhus also can learn and to appreciate and to make that implementation in the footsteps of Buddha, to practice and at the same time bring the Dharma to the people. So without further delay, we would like to start a recitation and really thank for always there for us and to practice along this path. So we will start by showing the presentation of the past Mahātheros who has also started off the establishment and to come forward to be the initial group of Bhikkhuni, and they too actually go through a lot of challenges. But anyway, they made it, and because of that, today we are here. So comes together, although they may not be here, just feel continue to be with us. So we will first show the video of the Mahāthero and today we review what they and see the contribution to the new village of Sangha. Technical glitch. So we saw what this time.
Mungkin tadi colokannya itu. Ya, ya. 5 minutes.
Any time to go on with it. Coming.
Okay. No. Okay. Yeah.
I'm beginning.
the numbers of Bhikkhunis, sometimes if the Bhikkhunis are not available in this world, still the Buddha did not nullify that the bhikkhus can give ordination alone. Injunction that monks can ordain nuns. That has not been discredited or dissolved. At that time, there were many bhikkhunis. There were 150 Koreans.
So many.
Bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, more than 10 bhikkhus. Very spot where the Buddha preached the first sermon.
It was the open place.
That in the vicinity of the stupa, the Dhammika stupa,
by the
that the Buddha ordained Bhikkhuni, not Theravada or Mahāyana.
Yeah, only one.
The Bhikkhuni is a Bhikkhuni if she gets the ordination from monks or dual monks. When I was in Korea, I get a frantic call from Sri Lanka, from Venerable Vipulasara. He told me, I am under fire. All the monks are attacking. This cannot be done. I am going to cancel this ordination. Nobody is supporting me. Then he told me, then I was doing the research. He told me, unless you take the leadership role and take the responsibility, these nuns are not up to it, because this is an international one and a historical event. And then he told me, either you take it and take the leadership and then do it, or else I am going to cancel it. Then by that time, 150 Koreans have already booked their tickets to come to India,
so much
to
the roads.
Sarnath for the ordination. And Venerable Vipulasara is trying to back out. I said, Venerable Sir, if you cancel this, there will never be another ordination. Even at the risk of my life, I will join this. If you ask me, please don't cancel it. I said, I have lived enough. Then I was nearly 69 years. I said, whether it is at the risk of my life, anybody will kill me, that's okay. So that is how I became the first Bhikkhuni. There was no one to take it.
you watch the video, I think everyone's not start. Okay? So, these are all the factors that you work very hard. Also, very important to establish it in Sangha. So, we are still in the rest of the development, and I think their spirit, we believe within us, so we too can contribute to the development and the progress of the Sangha, in the society. So our Mahāthero have set the foundation, and now is the time for the development. So we hope that with this, that we can actually also facilitate our mind. Yeah, determination, hard work, diligence, practice, and so many good qualities that we can embrace. And today we see they have continued the journey, and we now also would like to see who are the Mahātheros that is continuing this lineage, this practice, so that Bhikkhuni Sangha can continue to grow. So without much delay, we would like to start with sharing with you our own Nāyaka Mahāthero. Meaning, Nāyaka is the leader, the lead, so that the Bhikkhuni Sangha can continue to grow, and with the formation of the United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, they all come together so that the strength of the Bhikkhuni can be enhanced. There may be some other Mahātheros around, but these are the Mahātheros that have forward to dedicate time not only to develop their center, but also to develop the Bhikkhuni Sangha in the world. So we now will look the first Mahāthero of this time that works very hard to establish Bhikkhuni development is Venerable Bhikkhuni Tathālokā Mahā. And we apologize because this morning actually we tried to log in, but because we have changed the form. So I am not able to connect with her. But anyway, we hope that you will also rejoice with this felicitation ceremony. So maybe now, watch the felicitation, our honor to Mahāthero. Awesome.
In 2004, a founder of the first Bhikkhuni Vihara in the Western United States, Dhammadarīni, in 2005, and founding senior monastic advisor to the Alliance for Bhikkhunis in 2006. In 2007, she participated in the first Pali text Theravada Bhikkhuni Patimokkha recitation in North America, formally marking the presence of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in North America. Later that year, she traveled to Hamburg, Germany, at the invitation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, as a presenter to the first International Congress on Buddhist Women. Later that year, she traveled to India to offer International Bhikkhuni Parishad in Maharashtra and Buddha Vision Bhikkhuni training for the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha in Bodhgaya, together with international Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni teachers. In 2008, she traveled to Australia and presented for the first International Bhikkhuni Seminar in Australia, offering the first Theravada Samaneri Pabhaja in Australia at Santi Forest. In Melbourne, Australia, she participated in inaugurating the first Bhikkhuni Sangha Sima in Australia at Sanghamita, which has now grown into Newbury Buddhist Monastery, and joined for the first Australian Bhikkhuni Patimokkha recitation, serving as the reciter, Udesakacharini. Returning again to her home country of the U.S., she led up the first Bhikkhuni Sangha camp at Dharma Creek and became the first Bhikkhuni teacher to offer Samaneri Previous 20 years, Samaneri Papaja had only been offered in USA by bhikkhu teachers, and she received the gift of land for the first Theravada Bhikkhuni's forest hermitage on Northern California's Sonoma coast, Aranya Bodhi. After more than 20 years in monastic life, having completed 12 Vassas as a Bhikkhuni, in 2009 she became the first non-Sri Lankan to be appointed as a Bhikkhuni preceptor, Pavatini Upachaya, and was invited by Ajahn Brahmavamso to serve as the Bhikkhuni preceptor for the first Theravada Bhikkhuni ordinations in Australia. Upon return to her home country, the US, Venerable Tathālokā also became the first to offer Theravada dual ordination in North America with Therī at the Aranya Bodhi Forest Hermitage in 2010, where the Bhikkhuni Sangha's Sankika Vasa was held in North America for the first time. Since then, in the past decade, Ayya Tathālokā has served as Bhikkhuni preceptor for more than 60 ordinations for women in Theravada Buddhism, with disciples from USA, New Zealand, Germany, Sri Lanka, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, Austria, Wales, Thailand, Hong Kong, Canada, South Korea, mainland China, Poland, England, and Cambodia. Venerable Tathālokā Mahāthero is not only the Sangha THERI of the Dhammaterini Bhikkhunis community and senior monastic advisor to the Dhammaterini Support Foundation, but also a founding senior monastic advisor to the Alliance for Bhikkhunis in the U.S., the New Zealand Bhikkhuni Sangha Trust, the Kema Trust in Sri Lanka, and the Dharmapala Bhikkhuni Monastery Project in Poland. Her most recent collaborative endeavor with the International Bhikkhuni Sangha is with the UTBSI, United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International, in collaboration with the Maha Bodhi Society of India. Venerable Tathālokā was born in Washington, D.C. in 1968 to environmentally minded scientist parents. She followed her mother's example by observing nature for answers and for peace, and her father's example of inquiry through scientific research and investigation. Her childhood was spent in Rhode Island, Hawaii, and Oregon. When her parents separated, her mother moved back east and married an Indonesian man from a Muslim family, while her father remarried a Jewish woman. This experience of multiple religious traditions within her own family led her to develop a seeker's mind, wondering, what is religion? What is true? She received an academic scholarship and attended Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Maryland, but did not stay there long, feeling disconnected from the strong materialistic focus in the culture of the school. After leaving, she moved to the wide-open alpine prairie of northeastern Washington state and went to tiny Davenport High, where she could spend time horseback riding over the prairies. While living there, she heard about Buddhist monastic ordination from a friend of the family who had temporarily ordained in Thailand.
As a kid, when I heard sayings that were attributed to the Buddha, I remember many times really just stopping. It wasn't just the same old ordinary that I heard all the time. Like stopping, pausing to look into that and feeling that there was something special there. An associate of my family who had gone to Thailand took the opportunity to ordain for 3 months. He said that that was better than anything else, to have that opportunity to really just devote himself to the Adi Sila, higher ethics, moral virtue, and Adicitta, or meditation, and Adipanya, to really be learning and studying and contemplating the Buddha's teaching. And so then, even as a young teenager, when I heard about that, I felt like, can I go? But in that conversation with a friend of the family, when I said, I want to go, he said, I'm sorry to say that opportunity is available for the guys, but I didn't see it being available like that for the girls or for women. I got all the books on Buddhism that I could out of my local library, which was maybe like 3 or 4 of them. And I'd read some old texts that somehow made their way into our family library from the Pali Text Society. And then I had the strong clear idea that I felt sure was correct from the ancient texts, that the Buddha did have women disciples who were completely enlightened and who were part of his monastic community and who were teachers and leaders and who, were just an essential part of the early Buddhist community.
After a near-death experience as a teenager, she left home with a group of wandering minstrels, searching for Dhamma in the music. But the music scene turned out to be too toxic an environment for her to stay in for very long. After this experience, she went to stay with Catholic nuns and learned silent prayer, serving with loving kindness, and living with a women's monastic community. In many ways she felt aligned with this form of life, but didn't want to become a Christian, as she had not grown up with any religion. While attending university in Portland, Oregon, she heard about the Four Noble Truths. Inspired, she began meditating regularly, attending weekly meditations and weekend retreats, and then a year-ending retreat, which led directly to her aspiration to leave university and enter monastic life. In 1988, at age 19, she left her university studies and made her way first to Europe and then on to India, entering monastic life as an Anagarika, and 2 years later undertaking 10-precept nuns' ordination as a novice. Wishing to connect with the ancient lineage of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, she sought and found her female mentor in Buddhist monastic life in South Korea, the most venerable Bhikkhuni elder Myungsung Sunim, who gave her the name Tathālokā.
I heard on what we then called the Dhamma Bum circuit when I was on a ferry, actually, between Japan and somewhere. I met some Dhamma people, some meditators who were traveling there, and they told me about in Korea. They said at that time, they said that that was the place where there was like the best opportunity for women for training, ordination, meditation, teaching, any kind of project that you might like to have in Buddhism. That was just all open there in that circumstance. And they told me they had gone to a Dhamma talk. This is a guy. He told me he had gone to a Dhamma talk at the main temple of the Jogye order in Seoul, in the capital, and that there was a Bhikkhuni up on the high seat in the main temple of the whole order giving a Dhamma talk. I did not find out until years later that Bhikkhuni in that story was actually the Bhikkhuni Bright Star, Myungsung Sunim, who became my Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor. When I met her, I connected with her and something very deep happened. I bowed 9 times without even thinking about why am I bowing 9 times. And then she just asked me, "You want to ordain, don't you?" And then she told me what her requirements would be for doing that. She really wanted me to learn everything from the ground up. She felt like if there was a chance as a Westerner that I might be able to do something for Westerners or for the greater situation. And she did not want to have it be just like hit and run in ordination, to like just come in and get ordained and then be out there. She wanted me to be able to learn everything from the bottom up, to be able to know all of it. And she thought that could really help with like putting down the root, if it were possible to revive these Bhikkhunis traditions, which she was very much in support of. She felt like it needed to have a deep root, to not just be like superficial, like just with the patchwork robe and the ordination ceremony, but that it needed to go deep. And so I took on that commitment with her.
Returning to the United States in early 1996 with her Bhikkhuni mentor's blessings, in 1997 in Los Angeles, with an international gathering of bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, dharma teachers, and supporters in attendance, she received Bhikkhuni Upasampada from the Sri Lankan Bhikkhu Sangha, led by her preceptor, Upachaya, the late chief prelate of the Western Hemisphere, Most Venerable Dr. Havanpola Ratanasara Nāyaka Mahāthero. Since then, Venerable Tathālokā has focused on meditation and on both the study and practice of Dhamma and Vinaya. Her meditation training in Theravada Buddhism has been largely with the masters of the Thai forest traditions, stemming from Venerable Ajahn Mun Bodhisattva, Luangta Mahabua Jnana Sampano, and teachers of the Ajahn Chah tradition, together with the Burmese mindfulness and insight masters of Sayadaw U Pandita's tradition and meditation master Paok Sayadaw. Her path practice has also been deeply inspired and greatly supported by the late Most Venerable Webu Sayadawji and the teachings of the Most Venerable Katukurunde Nyanananda. The late Pramahagosananda of Cambodia and the Venerable Rashtrapal Thero of India have also been significant exemplars. Overall, her practice and teachings are profoundly influenced by the Buddha's own advice and injunctions as contained in the canonical early Buddhist sutta. Following her full ordination, Venerable Tathālokā completed a 3-year, 1,000-day retreat at a hermitage in the Hayward Hills of the San Francisco East Bay. She also had further travels in Asia, including going on Tudong in Thailand in 2002, her 14th year in monastic life. Venerable Tathālokā has conducted extensive research in comparative Bhikkhuni Vinaya and world Bhikkhuni Sangha history, which were her dual focus in her graduate school studies and a continued focus of her scholarship to the present day. Recognizing the growing number of Theravadan Bhikkhunis and Samanēris in the United States and the true value of coming together in harmony, Tathālokā proposed and participated in the founding of the North American Bhikkhuni Association in 2005. Several months later, she also participated in founding the first residential community for bhikkhunis in the western United States, named Dhammatharini. In 2008, together with the assembled Bhikkhuni Sangha, Venerable Tathālokā received the gift of the use of coastal redwood forested land, which became the first Bhikkhunis forest hermitage in North America, Aranya Bodhi, the Awakening Forest. In 2009, Venerable Tathālokā Mahāthero became the first Western woman to be appointed as a Theravada Bhikkhuni preceptor, Pavatini Upachaya, and she has contributed to the going forth and full ordination of more than 50 women as Bhikkhunis in the USA, Australia, India, and Thailand. She began offering Anagarika ordinations for women in 2005, Samaneri Papaja for women in Australia and the US in 2008, and Bhikkhuni Upasampada in 2009. She served as the Bhikkhuni preceptor for the first Theravada Bhikkhuni ordination in Australia in 2009, and the first all-Theravada dual Sangha Bhikkhuni ordination in North America in 2010. Her disciples now lead Bhikkhuni communities in the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand.
In our regular chanting in Pali that says Sattang Sabhyanjanang Kevala Paripunnang Parisutang Brahmacharyang Paka Sesi. And so this is talking about then a special quality of the Buddha. This is speaking about the, you'd say like salient qualities of the Buddha and how he established his Sangha. And so it's talking about both the essence and also the particulars as being very much allied in harmony and like fully manifest and being fulfilled. So not being at disparity with one another. So not like essence is one thing and form is something else. Of course, that's true in a way. But like the vision is that what the Buddha was, how he lived, and how the early Buddhist Sangha lived, it's about as close as you can get in human life to having the, both the form and the expressions and all of the particulars and that essence aligned with one another. Then the way was not clear at that time. So it seemed like, if possible, let's open that back up again. Because for what's healthy and wholesome, and even liberating, if the way is blocked, then and you can open it, then open it.
Her community has grown and now includes the Dhammadharini Sonomagiri Bhikkhuni Arama, Dhammadharini Monastery, in the San Francisco North Bay, as well as with Aranya Bodhi Forest Hermitage. The Bhikkhunis who she has supported as preceptor to train and ordain are now leading up Bhikkhuni monasteries, viharas, and initiatives not only in California, but also in Vancouver and Ontario, Canada, in Costa Rica, in Europe, in Germany and Poland, in the Perth area, as well as in the Southern Highlands and deep south of Australia and on New Zealand's North Island. Tathālokā is recently serving as Bhikkhuni preceptor not only to her first generation of Bhikkhuni students, but now also to the second generation of their Bhikkhuni disciples. And her first generation, as of last year with Venerable Ayahasapanya THERI at Thammasara Monastery in Australia, are now themselves becoming not only Bhikkhuni leaders and teachers, but also being appointed and serving as Bhikkhuni preceptors themselves. After 25 years of Upasampada, and a full 12-year zodiac cycle serving as a Bhikkhuni preceptor, Pawatini, with the next generation of Bhikkhuni preceptors rising up, the Bhikkhuni Sasana has been set into motion again. The Dhamma and Vinaya wheel is turning forward. Dhamma Vinaya Chakka Pawatana.
Supapatang suhotitang sukhano sumohoto chasitang brahmachari supatakinang kayakam.
Yes, it's so you can see the Mahāthero. Again, you can see their journey of spiritual life and their continuous contribution to make sure that it is a part of the human group. So next, we would like to present you also the felicitation video of Ayah Santinī, Mahāthero, and Mahāthero, so that we can get to know them and follow their inspiration.
The spiritual journey of Venerable Bhikkhuni Santinī Mahātheri. Venerable Bhikkhuni Santinī Mahātheri, better known as Ayah Santinī, who lives at Vihara Kusalayani, Maribaya, Lembang, Bandung, West Java, is the chief of the Indonesian Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. Since childhood, a of her heart to live a life as a samana. The determination was getting stronger with nothing to stop it. On September 29th, 1990, she was ordained as Anagarika Santinī at Brahma Vihara Arama, Singaraja, Bali, by the late Venerable Bhikkhu Giri Rakito Mahāthero. In 1993, together with the late Anagarika Susilawati, later became Bhikkhuni Susilawati Therī, they started a place for women to train and develop themselves, namely Vihara Kusalayani. They both lived a very simple ascetic life in a very simple small building. There was no electricity and no clean water at that time, nor did anyone live in that vicinity, as there was just a stretch of vegetable garden without even a fence around. On May 23, 1994, the Indonesian Anagarika congregation was established. A few months later, on September the 10th, 1994, the laying of the first stone for Vihara Kusalayani was realized. Then gradually Vihara Kusalayani was built. With the establishment of the Indonesian Anagarika congregation, training programs began. And since then, women have started to come as they want to develop themselves with various intentions. Some want to practice temporarily, some with the aim to become lifelong samanas. Life took Anagarika Santinī further. Despite a lot of hardship and challenges, she kept cultivating herself and cultivating people. Nearly 10 years since she was ordained in 1990, with a spirit that continued burning, she finally realized that according to Chulawagga 10, women's opportunities to become Bhikkhunis in the Theravada order was actually wide open. There it is written, the Tathālokā allows the monks to ordain women to become nuns and to ordain men to become monks. Then she succeeded in finding the way to be ordained as a Theravada Bhikkhuni by Venerable Dr. Henepola Gunaratana Mahāthero on the 15th of April 2000. Along with that Upasampada, the Sangha Bhikkhuni Theravada Indonesia was established, which then was inaugurated by the Director General of Hindu and Buddhist Community Development, Ministry of Religion of the Republic of Indonesia, on January the 1st, 2006. After the inauguration, Bhikkhuni Santinī became more active with various activities and trainings at Vihara Kusalayani and other monasteries. Her activities include Sima stone laying at Vihara Kusalayani by several Bhikkhunis invited from abroad. Hosting Dhamma retreats for children and adults. Hosting meditation retreats at Vihara Kusalayani. Hosting meditation retreats at Brahma Vihara Arama, Bali. Printing Buddhist magazines for adults and children. In the midst of her busy schedule, she still finds time to organize people to do some social activities. These activities are routinely carried out at Vihara Kusalayani and the viharas under her guidance. The social services are also given in places of need, such as in places where natural disasters occur. She has also traveled to various cities in Indonesia and to several other countries to support the development of the Dhamma preaching. Here are some activities done by Bhikkhuni Santinī. Activities around Indonesia. Activities abroad. Singapore, India and Nepal. Malaysia, Vietnam, China. Thailand. Bhikkhuni Santinī received relics from the Thailand Sangha Raja through his secretary. Attended the funeral ceremony of the Thailand Sangha Raja, receiving the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards 2007 from the United Nations. Germany, Cambodia includes visiting 2 Sangha Raja in Cambodia. Australia. Bangladesh. America. As a preparation for Upasampada on December the 20th, 2014, Bhikkhuni Santinī was functioning the new Sīma. And then on June the 21st, 2015, the Indonesian Theravada Bhikkhuni Upasampada was held spectacularly for the first time after more than 1,000 years of absence. On that occasion, 9 candidates came from various countries. During the 2016 Rains Retreat, she invited 2 senior bhikkhunis from Sri Lanka and some bhikkhunis who were ordained at the Vihara Kusalayani to spend the Rains Retreat together. She also involved them in various special events. In the revival and development of the International Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha, she was participating as a witness once in Australia, once in Sri Lanka, and once in India, as a Kamawatacharini, once in Thailand, and as a Pawatini, 5 times in Australia and once in Indonesia. In 2020, she was also selected as a recipient of an award from the Pancasila Ideology Development Agency of Indonesian government. This appreciation was for those who had had clear achievements and innovations beneficial to society, nation and state, as well as to the international community. In this case, Bhikkhuni Santinī received an award for the category of Interfaith Mover. Up to now, Bhikkhuni Santinī is fostering 3 monasteries, namely 1. Cetia Sanghamita, Kebonjeruk, Jakarta. 2. Vihara Sanghamita, Karawang, West Java. 1993, Wihara Arya Dwipa Arama, Taman Mini Indonesia Indah, Jakarta. Her other recent activities are recording Dhamma talks to send through social media, giving online Dhamma talks during COVID pandemic. Venerable Bhikkhuni Santinī Mahātheri continues to strive both in self-cultivation and to support the spread of Dhamma. In order to balance out activities and self-improvement, she maintains a strict schedule. May all beings benefit from her struggle. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Let us now say sadhu 2 times. So, we can see the Nāyaka Mahāthero not only have to start a very low time, but also have to go with the time. Yeah, and we equip ourselves with modern technology for the purpose of teaching the Sangha. Yeah? So this is also very inspiring journey that we can see, and you can see Santinī in person here, and don't forget to subscribe. That is important. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. So we were so lucky, right? And although this year Santinī could have been candidates to nominate here, but she and her team, yeah, and also Venerable and Sarita and Temple, and also we have Vassas and Vassas kindly come all together to support this ordination. Yeah, and they also have contribute every day from 6 to 16. Yeah, and really started to right. Next, we would like to see the next Nāyaka Mahāthero, Venerable Dhamma, see her life journey, and also her development background. Yeah? And it's not many years, but you can see in background. Actually, in Vietnam, I did once for the Anagarika conference. I was amazed by how many nuns are there in Vietnam. I heard at the time, 51,000. Yeah, Mahā. 20,000 nuns. Yeah, I was there, and they said the whole school will 2,000 nuns. And they say that is also because they have to be 1 area, 10 nuns and goats. Yeah. And so I can see the future, the development of Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha in Vietnam, high potential. Yeah, will develop. Yeah, now we will take time to watch Anagarika's journey. Yeah, we can see from the beginning, and then one touch at the beginning with the up to Ordination. Although they started with the Mahāthero, but then they found the teaching, and they also are able to make their decision to follow the path of the early Buddhist teaching and the journey as a Bhikkhuni. And you also see that Venerable is very popular and Facebook. Yeah, she has a lot of followers on Facebook. And last time I heard from her is that many were aware of this Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha through her Facebook. And so that is also a way to educate and to invite people. There's this early teaching of the Buddha, and there's this part of Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha, so that people can and this is an available platform now. But first, you can see their path from Anagarika, and then to their and then higher ordination. So the root, and they work very hard. That's how the population is very strong. And they will teach it, and also in English. So this is an advantage. And for the Vietnamese Bhikkhuni, before that, you can learn from the teacher in English. Yeah, so next time, then you can actually have extra skill to go international. All right, so we thank Venerable very much on the journey and Mahāthero for this journey. And the last felicitation video will be on November Mahāthero.
Taking the time machine back to the time when I was still in my early teen. I was taking a stroll. Suddenly, a question came to my mind after having attended a class on Buddhism. My teacher said that the Bhikkhunis were gone. That is sad. I felt it was illogical. It was the Buddha who established the fourfold Buddhist communities. But why the Buddhists like us are not interested for his wish? My question was, can we do anything more than just saying, it is sad? When I grew up, then I began to understand deeper the meaning of the word negligence. The question which came to my mind at that early age starts getting answered through my life journey. I came to Songtham Kalayani Temple towards the end of 2011. For the first time, I saw Bhikkhuni in Thailand. It connected me to the previous question I had as a student. Who is this to give me this picture of a woman who wears the robe? Since Thailand has become a nation, the robe has gained the status of being sacred only on the body of monks. Today, I'm taking you to meet with the person
who brought about the change in Thai society, the one who fulfilled the fourfold Buddhist communities. Venerable Dhammananda, the first Theravada Bhikkhuni in Thailand. In 1983, she was still Associate Professor Dr. Chatsuman Kabilasinghe. She was invited by Harvard University to attend an international conference on the theme Women, Religion and Social Changes. The topic which the host asked her to write was Future of Bhikkhuni Sangha in Thailand. She once told me that she did not think of ordination, but today she herself has become the first Theravada Bhikkhuni in Thailand. She opens the door of opportunity for Thai women who wish to lead their lives as Bhikkhunis as allowed by the Buddha some 2,600 years ago. What brought her to this change? What effect the conference at Harvard University made on her? She has now completed 20 Vassas of being fully ordained. This year, whether she has any dream for the future of the Bhikkhuni in Thailand, please come along.
หลวงแม่คะหลวงแม่เคยเล่าว่าจุดเปลี่ยนที่สำคัญที่สุดของหลวงแม่คือการประชุมที่ฮาร์วาร์ดทำไมถึงเป็นเช่นนั้นคะ
ปีคศนะคะคศ1983หลวงแม่ได้รับเชิญให้ไปร่วมประชุมน่าสนใจหัวข้อของการประชุมนะคะผู้หญิงศาสนาและการ social changes เปลี่ยนแปลงทางสังคมนะคะหัวข้อที่เขาขอให้หลวงแม่เขียนนะก็คืออนาคตของภิกษุณีสงฆ์ในประเทศไทยซึ่งหลวงแม่ประทับใจมากๆเพราะว่าตอนนั้นมันยังไม่ได้มีภิกษุณีสงฆ์ในประเทศไทยเลยเขารู้ล่วงหน้าตั้ง20 ปีเพราะอีก20 ปีต่อมาอีก18 ปีต่อมาหลวงแม่ถึงได้บวชถึงได้ออกบวชนะคะก็ในการประชุมนั้นน่ะเป็นการประชุมที่มีเฟมินิสต์นักสตรีนิยมมาจากหลากหลายประเทศล้วนแล้วแต่เป็นผู้นำในด้านการเรียกร้องสิทธิสำหรับผู้หญิงนะคะหลวงแม่เห็นด้วยกับเขาทั้งหมดเลยเห็นด้วยกับประเด็นที่เขาประชุมมากๆแล้วก็ย้อนกลับมาคิดถึงตัวเองว่าขณะนั้นน่ะหลวงแม่น่าจะเป็นคนเดียวในประเทศไทยที่มีข้อมูลเรื่องภิกษุณีมากที่สุดแต่ว่าหลวงแม่ก็อยู่บนหอคอยงาช้างเป็นอาจารย์สอนในมหาวิทยาลัยมีความปลอดภัยทางพื้นที่ทางสังคมนะคะแต่ไม่คิดที่จะนำมาซึ่งการเปลี่ยนแปลงทางสังคมซึ่งเป็นหัวข้อการสัมมนาเป็นหัวข้อของการประชุมของเขานะคะมันทำให้เรากระแทกนะหลวงแม่ต้องใช้คำว่ากระแทกใจเราให้เราได้ตรวจสอบว่าในการที่เราเป็นนักวิชาการนะแต่เราไม่ได้เคยคิดที่จะนำมาสู่การเปลี่ยนแปลงทางสังคมจริงๆในหัวข้อที่เราศึกษานะมันเสียชาติเกิดไหมมันเสียชาติเกิดไหมนะคะตัวจุดนั้นนะคะเป็นจุดเริ่มต้นที่ทำให้คิดว่าเราต้องทำอะไร
In 1944, Chatsuman Satrasen was born at Siriraj Hospital in Bangkok. When she was only 11 years old, her mother entered monastic life, receiving precepts from the most venerable Bhikkhunī, who was vice abbot of Wat Bawar Niwet in 1956. Her father, Gorkiet Satrasen, who was member of parliament and represented people from Trang province, Democrat Party, 3 terms entered monastic life and became a monk in 1966, when his daughter was 22 years old. While she was returning to continue her doctoral education in Canada, she accompanied her mother to Taiwan to receive full ordination, and her mother became the first Thai Bhikkhuni in 1976. Her background of having both paternal and maternal lineages interested in monastic lives must have been an important ingredient to mold her with monastic seed, consciously or unconsciously. When the right time comes, the seed is ready to burst into life with roots going down and sprout coming up.
ถ้าเปรียบชีวิตของหลวงแม่กับต้นไม้ใหญ่ต้นหนึ่งหลวงแม่จะให้ความสำคัญกับส่วนใดของต้นมากที่สุดและเพราะอะไรคะ
พันธุ์และรากค่ะไม่ว่าเราจะให้ความสนใจกับรากมากน้อยแค่ไหนแต่พันธุ์มันเป็นพันธุ์นะคะซึ่งเป็นไม้ล้มลุกอย่างเงี้ยนะคะไม่ว่ารากจะดีแค่ไหนแต่ถ้าพันธุ์มันมาไม่ดีมันก็ไปไหนไม่ได้ไปไหนไม่รอดต้นสักนะคะต้นสักเนี่ยพันธุ์ดีแต่รากต้องมั่นคงรากต้องแข็งแรงค่ะสองส่วนพันธุ์กับราก
และถ้าเปรียบกับการทำงานของภิกษุณีพันกับรากเนี่ยเปรียบได้กับอะไรบ้างคะ
รากก็คือความมั่นคงของเราที่เราเดินบนเส้นทางเนี่ยนะคะความมั่นคงที่จะต้องมั่นคงอยู่ในธรรมวินัยสองคำธรรมะและวินัยอย่าเน้นตัวใดตัวหนึ่งเอียงไปข้างใดข้างหนึ่งนะคะมันก็จะเกิดผลลัพธ์ที่ไม่สมดุลค่ะ
Venerable Dhammananda Mahātheri's life can be compared to a big tree with roots spreading deep down at the same time. The branches are spreading out far and wide. Her life has been indeed well prepared from childhood to fulfill the duty of the fourfold Buddhist communities. Venerable Dhammananda Mahātheri is not only just one bhikkhuni, but it is an emergence of a unity in Buddhist world to make the Buddha's intention a reality for the benefit of humankind, that is to have bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, laymen and laywomen.
หลวงแม่มีฝันเกี่ยวกับอนาคตของภิกษุณีสงฆ์ในประเทศไทยหรือไม่อย่างไรคะ
ไม่มีฝันตั้งใจทำเลย You don't dream about it you do to achieve the goal ให้เห็นเส้นทางชัดเจนเป้าหมายชัดเจนไม่ฝันนะเอาจริง
But I have a dream.I dream that one day the Bhikkhuni Sangha in Thailand will be fully established, well-rooted, strong and steady. I dream that the wall of avijja or ignorance will crumble with the surge of awakening to allow the Dhamma wheel to go forward. I dream that the fourfold Buddhist communities in Thailand will be unifying to make Thailand a golden land with the flow of nurturing and understanding among the people according to the Buddha path. I dream that Thai Buddhists will realize the danger from this negligence. Venerable Dr. Praku Suthamanath once said, "As soon as then light comes in the darkness will be dispelled.Human beings will be awakened. With that, automatically, the not knowing will disappear." More than 20 years of the arrival of Theravada Bhikkhunis, there were both hatred and love. acceptance and unacceptance. Still, I trust that metta will bring light to the world. I dream to see the brightness to take place and remove the darkness in our hearts. I have a dream.
So, Mahāthero, she has a dream. Do you have a dream? If you have a dream, you say, do it, don't just dream. And so, everything started with a very good, noble thought. To walk with the hospital and to connect with the Buddha, the second Buddha. And we have seen the four Mahātheros of our time, and two of them are here, and the two are from afar because of health, and they're not able to join us, but their heart is with us, and so with these four Mahātheros of today, and they are actively continue to take the lead, and that's the role, the duty to ensure the development and the proliferation of the Buddhist society. So we hope with this sharing with all the new Bhikkhunis that you have also plant your good seed, and you are very fortunate to have our Bhikkhu teachers here and also Bhikkhuni teachers here. Not like in the early days, they have to strive very, very hard, but don't take it for granted. And great gratitude that they have sacrificed for us so that we can have more smooth and smooth path to enter this monastic life, and we, having taken our ordination, should also walk in the footsteps and to be kind and honor our teachers' sacrifice, and to also be humble to learn from them. And for the new Bhikkhunis, it is a role that we play as a Bhikkhuni. And Bhante, all the Mahātheros are so kind, and even at this time, with their passion to us, they too face challenges, but they know the whole sacrifice. Just like Venerable said, it is so shameful, but we have all the information, all the facts, but if we don't take any action to put it into reality for the proper change, the proper application of the Buddha Dharma, then of course the Buddha Dharma will also be affected. So they are taking the lead, the Nāyaka Mahātheros and the Nāyaka Mahātheros, and this is indeed very big honor to do that, and we are really having this big gratitude and thankfulness to them. And how do we honor our teacher? How do we honor our teacher? Practice well. How to practice well? How to practice well? The silence. 3-fold training, right? Sila, Samadhi, and right? And then Vicky. So put into practice. The way we honor a teacher is be humble, to listen to their instructions, right? And also to be amenable for improvement, and to practice well, so that that is such a say something good. Yeah? And that is how we always feel the gratefulness when a teacher is mentioned. They feel very happy. Like when the Buddha during his time, when that was asked, and Asati was a teacher, and that's how they always ask, who is your teacher? So if you misbehave, not you get the blame first, the teacher gets the blame first. So it's very important for us to be able to practice well, because why? We too represent our teacher. So when we, as a student, under training, so we truly submit ourselves for the training, so that one day, not only, like what say, the species must be good, and the good root will take place. Not only that, you have to nurture the time, the right sun, the right season, the right rain, right water, and you have to also do reading. And so these are the process of growing as a big tree, and hopefully, whether in India, Vietnam, Malaysia, in Australia, Thailand, Cambodia, so every place that we hope that the species and the root of Bhikkhuni order can be planted strongly and can be grown in a full flesh. So, as we say, the chapter parisa, the bhikkhu to be virtuous. Bhikkhuni not only have to be virtuous, but have to be learned. And upasana, great faith, and also upasana. So these are the four something that will illuminate the world. So we really are grateful. And again, we like to say sadhu, and we just stand up to pay our honor. So, for all our Maha parents and Maha families, being the Bhikkhunis, like to extend our gratitude to all the countries and all the islands. For your great sacrifice, for your determination, diligence, practice, and leadership. The Buddha's Sangha, for the whole assembly, to take strong root in after the last third assembly. Indeed, we are very fortunate to witness this in our time. Although we are 25 years, I think we are growing, and we should not take for granted as the continuity of the sun depends on all of us. Your sacrifice, hard work is honored by us, and to honor all these, you bring our commitment. Also follow footsteps and upholding teaching of the Buddha, Dharmapala, and also your leadership. Share and teach the true Dharma, for well-being, for happiness, and for the benefit of the man. The honor, your kindness, your care and guidance, and by honoring so, we commit ourselves also to be kind, to be diligent, and to be compassionate in whatever we do, and to honor our teacher, and you also offer our service in whatever way to take care of our teacher, so they too will be able to come in to benefit of more and more people to come in contact with the Buddha. And they also be able to continue to provide the platform of higher ordination for all the well-trained seminaries, and also to all those Anagarikas, and to all people who are keen in the Dharma. Now we well wish that our Mahāthero, our Mahātheros, have a long, healthy, and happy life, and they also realize the awakening at the earliest opportunity. And let's say, sadhu returns. Sadhu, for the benefit of my students, that they have the willingness to translate to them, because it is very important moment for them. As I did, definitely, suppose someone can đặt cái từ Phật tăng, cái từ Phật ni, thì cộng đồng thì tương sâu sắc, thì vị này cho những người luôn luôn hy sinh, luôn luôn tận tụy, luôn luôn cố gắng tu tập cho bản thân và làm tấm gương được dạy cho đoàn hồn đế. Và sư cô cũng có đang tụi con xin nguyện theo gương các ngài, để sau này tụi con cũng là những người luôn luôn tận tụy, luôn luôn tinh tấn tu tập, để trở thành những người dạy cho những đoàn hồn lai để nổi tiếng hoàn mạch của Phật giáo. Đặc biệt tụi con rất may mắn và sau 1.000 năm bằng Phật trị Tân Ly, thì nay tụi con được may mắn chứng kiến việc rất quan trọng là cái đoàn được phải thành lập cách đây 25 năm. Và tụi con là những người được diễm phúc được vào hàng ngũ của cái đoàn. Tụi con nguyện để theo gương của ngài, và tụi con luôn tinh tấn tu tập, luôn luôn đặc biệt tập hành để trở thành những người biết nổi vị ngài, để tạo kiến tự đúng thì theo để cho nên tu bản tắc của bản gì. Và tất cả mọi người thành công đặt về riêng thì tự bản thân là tự bản mình. Thank you, Anagarika, for the presentation. And actually, we would like to give the offer certificate, but still in the process of being. Maybe we will probably provide agent. We'd like to invite Tathālokā to speak. Maybe about sharing about how difficult it is doing when they started to do. Now you can see that.
Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha and Bhikkhuni Sangha. It is best to say some words about that presentations. Because we have seen many characters, words, commitments, and difficulties through that presentation. So we have seen several Mahātheris who have working and who had worked, and now there are some Mahātheris no more in this world. It's sad to hear about that things. And some Mahātheris is still doing their good works in this on this earth. So when I saw that presentation, I had very good connection with some Mahātheris who are not now in this world. The Venerable Bhikkhuni Kusuma, very close to me, actually she is my relation. We have some relationship here. So I know her in her real life. She was a teacher, university lecturer. At that time I know her, and I know how she became a Bhikkhuni, how she went to the China and other countries to research on Bhikkhuni matter. Because she always used to come to meet Venerable Tathālokā Mahāthero, the Palang temple. I know the Venerable Bhikkhuni Mahā there, and I was the Bodhgaya. I was Palang and Mahāthero, so I knew about Venerable Bhikkhuni Kusuma. Until she passed away, we had a good relationship about the Bhikkhuni matter and other things. So I know what kind of commitment she had and how she worked on the world, not only Sri Lanka, all over the world, giving sermons and helping the Bhikkhuni Sangha all over the world. And I saw about the Bhikkhuni Nandanyani in Chiang Mai. Actually, I was a Kamavācācārya. And in the very beginning of Nirodha, I went that place, several times I went that place to participate in many events. So it is very lost for the Buddha Sasana, the pass away of the Bhikkhuni Nandanyani. And other Bhikkhunis also, the Vayama Bhikkhuni, he was in Sri Lanka, so I knew about her. So there are so many Bhikkhunis passed away. So the present Bhikkhunis, the Mahātheris, Santinī, Dharma, and Venerable Bhikkhuni Ramananda. I was the Kamavācācārya of Bhikkhuni Ramananda also, and we have good relationship still today, and we are traveling. I am going to Dharmapala temple, and she comes to Sri Lanka. We meet and discussing about the Bhikkhuni medicine. So when I saw these things, I can say it is not possible anything we can do. It is not possible, but we can do. The establishing the Bhikkhuni order is not possible. Very hard. There are so many obstacles. So there are so many enemies for the Bhikkhunism. But we can do. All these Mahātheris have proved they can do this thing, even though there are possibilities and some barriers. So I would like to give some instruction to these newly ordained Bhikkhunis. Please follow these characters. You have example. They have examples. They begin that example. When they ordain, there are no examples all over the world. Only the Buddha's time examples. Mahāprajāpati and other Bhikkhunis. But now you have examples. Venerable Bhikkhuni Santinī, Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhamma, Venerable Dhammananda, and there are so many other Bhikkhunis. So you have examples, so you can follow these examples. So please obey, please respect, and follow these Venerable Mahātheris, then you may be successful. You may achieve your goal. Thank you.
the certificate is ready, because you think some of the not consistent, but it's pretty good. I think we can, but it's fine.
So while the Venerable Seewalee signing, I want to mention something. So I saw there are some pictures of the pioneers of the Venerable Bhikkhus in this booklet. So it is the most Venerable Dhammananda Mahāthero, most Venerable Mahāthero, and several others. But you are missing something. Most Venerable Dr. Mahāthero and most Venerable Tathālokā. They are the pioneers. These monks, they are creation. But Venerable Viprasara and Dhammapada took the steps forward. And they also organized the Bodhgaya Ordination. So please mention their name also.
And we'll continue with the other seminar. With the Mahā's recommendation, we shall put our economic of strength on the conversation so that we can have our digest better, so that we can prepare for the morning to our seminar with the whole seven. So we invite tomorrow morning, tomorrow 8:30, so please be punctual. And before that,
tomorrow is more for the internal meeting, the fellowship. Yeah.
Alright, so we shall conclude with a message. And we also will be translating to come.
Making me close to Santinī. Otherwise, this is a street.
So I think that the first part looks from here and here down. The first part looks from here and then the last six looks then on the floor. And the first part will come here and here down. And then so different Okay, I'm sorry. It's not.